Hi, folks. Welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. Excuse me today, I'm a little under the weather, but I don't have COVID. I tested myself twice today just to make sure. Let that be a lesson to you, all of you out there that go around with COVID. Anyway, I got a couple of fun guests today. I have a reporter from WPRI-TV, and I have the head of the crime lab at the University of Rhode Island. He'll be on with us next. And right now, I got Amanda Pitts. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Thank you for inviting me on.
I'm glad to have you. I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah, it was a long walk from the studio down the street.
Oh yeah, I know. You could have walked here too.
I could have, but I didn't.
It is a short distance.
Yeah, not in these heels.
No, I didn't notice. Oh, well, those aren't bad. They're not stilettos anyway.
They're not too bad, no.
No. So how long you been with Channel 12?
So about a year and a half I've been at Channel 12, but
Yeah.
been in Providence Market for about 5 years now.
You were previously with Channel 6.
I was, yes.
You was.
Yep.
And how do you like it over at 12 now? It's
I
different,
love
little
it.
different?
It is different
Yep.
because I'm paired with a photographer all the time now. You might know
Yeah,
a couple of them.
unfortunately, yeah. I know what?
Unfortunately, you know a couple of them. But yeah, it's a good different. I love it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. More resources. I get paired with a photographer every night.
Well,
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have
Yeah.
help.
They don't have the resources over at 6 to do that as well as you do with
Yeah,
Channel
I
12.
can't speak to what it's like now, but back then I was doing everything myself.
Right.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough, especially going out at night. A woman, especially going out at night,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. When I was over at 6, I worked during the day, so I didn't have to do
Oh, all
anything
right,
like
yeah,
that, but
yeah.
I would do live shots in Kennedy Plaza and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
that's
it
always
wasn't
fun.
always the safest.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I work at night at Channel 12, so I'm happy to have some backup there.
And do you end up with both the Corey boys? I mean, Corey and Ryan, or
I
just
do.
the Welch brothers, huh?
Yep, the Welch brothers. I'm with Ryan usually on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Corey Wednesday through Friday. So I luck
Fun.
out there.
Yeah.
They're the best in the biz.
Well, they learn from the best of the best.
That's true.
They won't admit that, but they did. They were here almost 20 years, I think. No, got to be at least 15.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We'll find out more about that. How old's Corey now?
I don't know if you'd want me to say publicly. Just kidding.
Probably approaching 30.
He's in his 30s, yeah. Early 30s.
Early 30s. So he started here when he was 14. So
Wow. It's crazy.
yeah. Do you
Should
think
we-
they made it today? You said they were going to come today, right? You said
Well,
they were gonna
Ryan
show.
is moving into a new apartment in Providence, but
Oh.
Corey is here. Yep.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, you're not originally from Rhode Island, but you might as well be because you were here since you were a kid, right?
Yep. So I was born in Taunton, Mass, but I moved to Rhode Island when I was 6, so I
Yeah.
just tell everyone I'm from here.
Yeah, you're from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moved around a lot. I've lived in Bristol, Warren, and Riverside. That's where my family is now.
Always from the East Bay, huh?
East Bay, yep.
Yeah?
That's my favorite.
Did you ever go over the bridge? Did you ever go over the bridge to, well, we're still on the East Bay right now.
Yeah, well, growing up, that was like the thing. My grandma never went on the highway, never went
Yes.
over the bridge. They never liked to do that. I have family in Warwick that I barely ever saw because they wouldn't go over the bridge, and we wouldn't
Well, that's
either.
a hell of a ride, too,
Yeah.
especially if you're down like in Bristol
Yeah,
and going to Warwick.
it's far, yeah.
Yeah.
But my family's been in East Providence for generations. My Nana used to live on Palmham Terrace overlooking the lighthouse. It's now the sewage plant, but that's how far back my family
Wow.
goes there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Love the
Wow.
East Bay.
So you must be Portuguese. You got to be part Portuguese now.
A little bit, yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to be. Mm-hmm. You're from the East Bay. And you're
Everyone is here, yeah.
Well, if you're, yeah, in East Providence.
Yeah.
East Providence and in Bristol.
Yeah.
Everyone's, well, not everyone, but a good portion of people are Portuguese.
Yep.
Now, where'd you go to college, you said?
I went to Bridgewater State up in Mass. But I graduated from East Providence High School.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Everyone went to URI, so I kind of wanted to get away from the high school crowd. So I went to Mass, yeah.
Yeah?
I liked it.
Well, and you heard what I said. I got the professor from URI, from
Yeah.
the forensic lab,
Don't tell him I said that.
coming. Well, he's hearing you now. He's in the other, is he in the other room now? Is he there?
He's probably watching on in the green room.
In the forensic, is he in the?
Nice. No, URI is a great school.
All right, who's your best friend over there now? You must have a best friend over there at Channel 12.
Channel 12, probably the Welches.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have a good little friend group over there. Everyone's friends, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of movement in the morning shows, huh?
Yeah, I honestly never see those people because we're
Oh,
opposite.
they're really
yeah,
yeah. I couldn't even imagine working those hours.
Oh, no. I go in at 3 p.m. and I leave around 11:30. So by the time they get in at like 3, 4 o'clock, I'm in bed, so.
Yeah. Oh, my God. But 3 to 11,
Yeah.
that's a tough shift, too. Your whole day's destroyed, I think, isn't it?
Well, it's nice because I have the whole day to do stuff,
Right.
but then at night I kind of have no social life, you know?
Right, yeah, yeah. Except the Welch brothers.
Yeah.
To hang around with the Welch brothers.
Yeah, you make friends at work. Make it work. What were they like here?
Oh, they were fun. I had a lot of fun with them guys here.
Nice. I'm sure you've had a lot of people come through here.
I have, certainly have. Certainly have. Just about everybody from Channel 12's been here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Who's your favorite so far?
I can't say that. Who's my favorite? I have a lot of favorites over there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great.
Tony Petrarch has been here a number of times, as has Mike Montecalvo.
Yep.
And when Karen Adams was on, she was here a few times.
Awesome.
Yeah, a lot of them have been here.
Yeah, we have great people.
Yeah.
Great people in the Providence market. in
Oh,
general.
yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Even at 10. I mean, I have a
Yeah.
lot of fun with the people from Channel 10, too.
I bet.
Yeah. I can ask you this. What's your favorite kind of story?
I really love breaking news.
Yeah.
I love the bad stuff, the crime.
The bad stuff.
I know it sounds bad, but it's exciting for us to be out on the street where things are happening, you know.
When somebody gets a shot or something?
I know, it's like, what is it?
But then don't you have to worry about them coming back? Look at what happened
I
recently,
know,
right?
It's very scary nowadays.
Where was that anyway? Where was that? The guy
That was in Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy shot some people and then he left and he come back later as the news reporters were there and he shot the reporter. He killed the reporter and shot the cameraman.
Yeah, the cameraman's doing
Survived,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, that's always the concern though. I mean, that's always been a concern is safety. It's a dangerous job. Like, a lot of jobs are dangerous, but you take precautions. We never stay at a scene when police have left. We usually go back to the
Right.
police department or something like that, so.
How about walking backwards into the street? That's dangerous too, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I stay off the street. Sidewalks only.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. People drive crazy these days.
Have you ever had to go to somebody's house and tell them that somebody's passed?
No.
Not yet, huh?
No, I mean, we always wait for police to do that in the ID.
Oh, I shouldn't. Maybe I said that wrong. Maybe not go tell them they passed, but ask them how they feel about their family. I never got that. I never got that at all.
Yeah.
How do you expect them to feel?
I know. It's actually it's easier nowadays with social media where you can kind of passively reach out to people,
Right.
say if you want to share, we're here, rather than bombarding someone at their house.
Right.
So I think that social media has made that easier, where you can send someone a Facebook message or give them a call or something rather than barge down their door, you know?
Yeah. There once was a reporter with Channel 12 years ago that called the house where they had some kind of I don't know if I'm going to get this right, some kind of a barricaded situation in the house. And the guy ended up killing people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And some people blamed it on her.
Hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, that was a long time
Before
ago.
my time.
Oh, God, before your time on this earth. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think it was 12. I'm pretty sure it was 12.
People
And
do
I'm
crazy
not
stuff.
absolutely sure about the circumstances, but
Yeah.
vaguely it's in my memory.
Yeah.
And the only reason I mention it is because she's long gone.
Gotcha.
She's still in the business, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not in New England, though.
That's good, though.
She's still in the business.
We need people to stay in the business.
Yeah. Now, when you come back from doing your shots, do you edit your own stuff?
Nope, our photojournalists do that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. There are some days if I'm shooting something myself, I'll put it together, but it's very, very rare. Typically work with a photographer, they shoot it, they edit it, and I write the script and then front it on television.
You write the story, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We work together though. If the photographer doesn't like something I said, I'll make a change. You know,
Really?
it's both of our stories, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just mine, you know.
Well, Corey's been over there, what now, 6 years, maybe, 7 years?
Oh no, I think much longer. He started when he was a teenager, right?
not there.
I think he started freelancing when he was pretty young, and then hired
Right,
full-time
yeah.
after, yeah.
I was 7 years old.
Oh, here he is.
7 years old.
7 years old.
Bring
Well,
him on
wait a minute.
camera.
Come on, come in here. Come in here. Come here.
Come
Come
on.
here.
There's another chair.
7 years old.
7. 7 years old.
They had a little baby camera.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He did start when he was 7, though.
Mm.
He started here when you were 14?
Yeah, I think 13, 14. Yeah.
How old at Channel 12?
You might as well come in the scene.
You might as well. Look,
Come on, you
there's
got to
room
get
for
in the
you.
shot. You can't talk to somebody out of the shot. You know better than that. Come on. Get over here.
Started Channel 12 probably when I was 20 or so.
Oh, okay. I said
Yeah.
late teens.
Yeah, I was sniffing around when I was in my late teens.
Now, who got you over there? Was it Petrarca? Was it Petrarca? He was here one night talking about it.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Tony was part of it, Karen and Steve Avison at the time.
Yep.
So I kind of knew a lot of people from there, from working here.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they all came here. Tell her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Every one of them came here. It was very I honestly can't remember anybody rejecting me. If I said, you want to come on the show? They all
Good.
came. They all came.
Yeah.
That's the star power you have.
Is that what it is? Star power? No, it's because it's fun. They have fun doing
Yeah.
hanging out.
And it's not a long drive.
And
From
now
here.
it's
Especially
not.
for us, there's no
Couple
excuse
blocks.
for Channel 12.
No
people.
excuse, huh?
No excuse.
No.
No excuse.
Now, how is it? You got your second house now? Did you buy a second house?
Yeah.
What'd you do with your first house?
I sold it, made money.
Oh, you did? Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was the
Did
right
you
time.
do any work on it?
Yeah, I did a lot of work to get it ready to sell and
Yeah.
a little more value, you know.
So you learned a lot about
Yeah.
carpentry and stuff?
Yep.
Electricity?
Electrical work, yeah.
Plumbing?
Not as much. Plumbing's difficult.
No, it's not. Plumbing's very easy,
Well,
actually.
you have to teach it because I don't think it's.
Plumbing's easier than electricity.
All right.
Most people will tell you that.
Yeah. I had electricians in the family, so I was able to learn a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stuff.
But a lot of people, I
Plumbing.
know a lot of people that will flipping houses, whatever, they'll do plumbing, but they won't do electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more. It's probably more dangerous.
More dangerous,
and
yeah.
Risky.
Yeah,
I
plumbing.
don't want water flying around out of.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
seats.
exactly, yeah. But if you know what you're doing, although you still get it, I shouldn't say it if you know what you're doing, because I've gotten flashed a number of
Yeah,
times
yeah,
over the years. Yeah.
Talk about crossing the bridge, though. He lives in Warwick. Far.
Far, huh?
Far away.
Warwick.
I like it.
And you're almost a native Rhode Islander, and you're saying that's
Almost.
far away. That is not far away.
No, she won't come.
I
Over,
think
she won't
it
come
is.
over the bridge
No.
No?
to the West Bay. No. We're working on.
I
it.
won't even cross for stories unless he's driving.
Cut it up. Are you serious?
She doesn't drive her. You've driven yourself while working
A
here?
couple
How
of
many times?
times.
Twice.
3 times, maybe.
Twice.
I luck out.
I guess so. How is she to work with now?
Oh.
Oh,
Don't
on
be
camera.
honest.
She's great.
She's
We kind of both work at the same pace. We like the quick. I heard her talking about earlier when I was in the green room. Beautiful, by the way.
nice green room.
Nice
Never had that
snacks.
when you were here before, because we were at the other studio.
Yeah. This is nice.
But the other studio was bigger.
Yeah.
They tried to tell me it's the
still looks
same
good.
size. Oh, no, you're not going to say it's the same size. This is not the same
No,
size.
it's not the same. Did somebody try to tell you that? They were lying.
Of course they were lying. It is not the
Yeah,
same
like
size.
twice.
Yeah, exactly.
This way.
It was another 10 feet
This is
that
all
way.
you need.
Yeah.
This is it, though.
No, it isn't, because I can't have a big band anymore.
That's true.
I can't have cooking like I used to have.
Well,
And they wouldn't even let me cook here. You know why? Because they say it will set off the sprinklers, which is amazing to me. Where are they even? Come to think of it, I never looked up. Do they even have sprinklers here? Do they even have sprinklers here? They're saying to set up the sprinklers. I don't even see
I
it.
have to check with the legal counsel about that later.
Yeah, no kidding. And even if there were, look how high the ceilings are. Like my cooking's got to set off, or if I bring a chef in here,
Yeah.
it's got to set off the sprinklers. We never set them off in Pawtucket.
Thankfully, no.
Not once.
Not once. I don't think Have you set sprinklers off ever?
Not yet. Should be today? Later on?
We'll say.
Oh, yeah, over there, because we don't have them here. We don't have any sprinklers here.
Oh. It's not what I heard.
That's not what you heard. So you must
Pull this
go crazy with this one out on the field. She's so happy-go-lucky.
No, that's
No?
No.
we get along good. We both have the same type of temperament for the most part.
Which
Yeah.
means what? You got to admit
We're
to
not
something
happy-
here?
No, we're not happy-go-lucky all the time. No.
You're very serious. You're the serious one. Your brother was the wild one. You're the serious one.
Yeah.
But although you're smiling a lot more lately, because you left here. Oh, I know what it is, because you're getting paid for you, though.
That helps.
Right?
Definitely helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All that.
this was always a great opportunity for me here, though. I mean, didn't ever think about having to be paid. Like coming here, getting the experience, and learning about TV, meeting a lot of people was huge. So money was never part of that.
Hey, what do you think of your mentor getting inducted into the Heritage Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Was that
I
nuts?
told you, I got it in my calendar. I'll be there.
Is that unbelievable?
gonna be
That was a shock to me, you know.
Yeah. How'd you find out?
Well, they told me I got nominated, and I said, who did that? Don't do that. I don't want, because I didn't expect ever to get put in there, so I said, I don't want to be nominated, right? Because, you know, the downside of that is you don't get in, right?
Yeah.
But then I got a packet in the mail, a big manila envelope. I opened it up, and there's a letter in there saying,
awesome.
congratulations. That was pretty cool.
That's
So
awesome.
did someone? Do you know who nominated you?
Yeah, I do.
Where?
I do. And he was on the show while you were here, Pat Conley,
Yeah.
Dr. Pat Conley,
Yep.
the historian there,
Yeah.
Providence historian.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he'd been on the show over the years a number of times, and he thought it was my time.
Told you, your star power
Yeah.
holds a lot of weight.
It's about damn time, is what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? It's a shock. Is Ryan here too?
He's not. No, he's actually moving today. So
Oh, that's right. You said he's moving to an apartment. He's got his
Yeah.
own. He's got his own place now.
his own
Yeah.
place.
He didn't buy nothing yet, though.
No.
No, that's not
Next,
his.
the
That's
next
not
move
his
for him,
MO.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know you got a dog. Any kids yet?
No, just a dog. The dog keeps me busy, keeps me happy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of dog?
He's a German Shepherd mix.
Mixed with what?
Mixed with probably a lot of things. I don't know.
But is he big or is he small?
He's big, yeah, 75, 80 pounds. Or
Oh, so he's mixed with a big dog. He's not mixed with a small dog.
Yeah.
Make a short-legged German Shepherd or something. Freaky-looking German
Those are
Shepherd.
wild. Yeah, what are the corgis? The little ones. Yeah. No, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Yep. Keeps me busy.
Now, was your first house in Warwick too?
No, my first house was in Cranston,
West Bay.
Warwick.
We were just talking about the East Bay.
Oh, she's in.
What's your favorite
My favorite what?
bay?
My favorite bay.
East or West?
Narragansett.
Tampa Bay.
Oh. Plot twist.
Former home of Tom Brady. Tampa Bay.
Did he move?
Well, no, he lives. I mean, he
He's
owns
still
a
there,
house
yeah,
down.
yeah.
He owns a house in Miami. Now they're going to roast him. Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
They're gonna roast
I
him.
think he's
Yeah.
nuts. I think he's nuts doing that.
You should try to get in on that.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah. You'd be good at that.
I would roast him, but I wouldn't.
Let's roast people right now. Who can we roast?
No.
No? Okay, never mind.
Who would you roast? Who would you roast over there? Who would you roast over there? You know better than she does.
Oh. Over where?
Channel 12.
Oh, geez. Probably you or, you know. You can't
Who?
roast a stranger. Who would you roast?
Of our coworkers?
I know who you'd pick.
Who?
Anita.
Oh, Anita. That would be fun.
She would take it well.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but
That'd be
nobody,
funny.
we don't know her, right? She's not on air.
Anita Buffoni.
You know her.
Oh, Anita. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
We're both from Johnston, so we have that
Oh, yeah.
Johnston.
Now, she
thing.
went out for a while, didn't she? Didn't she
Yeah,
for a while?
She just had her second
Kid,
child,
her second
yeah.
child, right?
She'll be
Yeah.
back soon.
Now, she's related to the people on that chicken farm.
The chicken
right?
farm,
We
famous
did a
chicken
show.
farm.
I went there with the governor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say I did a show there. I didn't do a show there. I went there with the governor. And we walked around in the, amidst 10,000 chickens. We're
Wow.
walking in the big barn.
Yeah. It's a cool spot.
And when I saw her on TV, it's the first thing I thought of. The name struck me. I'm saying, why do I know that name?
Yeah.
And after thinking about it for a little while, I figured it out.
That's the name.
So you never work with the girls in the morning, right? You never worked in the morning, did you?
Not much. I actually just did a morning shift yesterday, this morning.
Yesterday.
For the snow, but not often, no. Just usually if there's like a big snowstorm or if something big happened, then I'm still up from the night before, but not often.
Now, what's her name left?
Which one?
Danielle.
Danielle.
And you got another one leaving.
Michelle will be leaving, yep.
Oh, I didn't say it, I let you say it.
She's announced it, yeah, she's leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shock. Do you think she's leaving because Michelle left?
I think she's leaving because she's going to come take over this show. That's what
Well,
I heard.
good.
That's
I
what I
hope so.
heard. I'm not
You
sure.
have
She's the
a
most
weather
amazing
setup?
woman I've ever known in all these years. She's the most
Michelle?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's great.
She's had 3 kids. She comes here a month after, and she looks like him. I mean, she's got no
I
fat
got-
whatsoever.
I got a little belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After each kid, she's been on this show. And weeks after, a month, maybe a month after. And I'm going, didn't you just have a kid? You know?
Yeah.
And after one, okay, but even in after the third one, she's the same way. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know many women that can do that.
Great
they're both-
meteorologist.
Yeah, both very dedicated, good at their jobs. Yeah, I think it was just a time to change the pace up a little bit. So
What is she going to do?
I'm not sure what she's going to do. She hasn't announced that
She
yet.
hasn't shared it.
Yeah. But
And I knew her father-in-law. Her father-in-law was a doctor. He did one of my back operations.
Nice.
one of them.
One of them. What does that tell you?
We didn't get little monitors in here yet, huh?
We never
Are
did.
those still being ordered?
Yeah, they're on order. They're on
back order?
This thing's got to go though.
This is what this is
thing's-
for? That would have been
I'll
cool.
get ready to go back to the lower desk with the couches.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about going
That
back.
was the original look, yeah.
Yeah, the Johnny Carson look, the real Johnny Carson look. By the way, the Providence Journal called me, the Rhode Island version of Johnny Carson. Remember that a long time ago?
Oh, wow.
They said, here's Bob, the Johnny Carson of cable television.
Oh, high praise.
Yeah. So I can't get nothing out of it. See, I don't know the girl, so I don't really.
Let's see, what can we
I
get
can't
out of
pick
her?
on her. You got to help me.
What can we get out of her?
I think we covered it all.
Where's your index
We didn't
cards?
cover anything.
I
What?
didn't bring them.
She didn't bring your index card?
Yeah, she did.
I brought him
she
a
wrote me
new aged
tablet. I
iPad.
can't even get working. All right. Where you from? Yeah.
See, we covered it all.
Made you want to? What made you want to get into the news?
Well, I actually didn't grow up wanting to.
No.
Well, I grew up loving the news, but I didn't know that I should do that as a job.
Right. So what
My
happened?
grandma one day, we were watching the Today Show, and I was going to college, didn't know what to major in. She was like, you could do this. You like to talk. You like to ask questions, and you should do this. And I was like, okay. So I took a journalism class at CCRI, and I loved it.
Wow.
I took a bunch of internships in college, too, and I really loved.
And only one journalism class, and you made it?
Well, I just took one to see if I liked it, and then I
Oh,
loved it, and then
I got
I
it.
went
I
into
gotcha.
a
Yeah.
communications program.
Yeah.
But I didn't really learn much in college. I learned it all at the internships I did. I worked at Channel 6, actually, when I was still in college.
Yep.
They hired me for the assignment desk, and then I went on air up in Binghamton, New York. That was my first station.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I
So-
moved to Channel 6 in 12.
Oh, so you've been just around. You
Yeah.
got lucky. You got here that quick.
Yep. Didn't have to move too far.
Speaking of the Today Show, do you know who on the Today Show has been a guest in this studio?
I know, so I'm not going to spoil it.
Is it Dylan Dreyer?
Yes.
Knew it. She was over at 10, right?
Yeah. I got a phone call from Catherine Tappan, who also was from 10 and also come on the show and also used her cassette from here to get a job in Channel 7 in
I did a
Boston.
show with her
Oh,
at a
wow.
restaurant somewhere. I remember we were.
Yeah, that's right. You were the
Greenwich?
yeah.
Yeah.
I had dinner with her
Yeah.
on the upper deck at table 28.
Dinner with a few cameras around.
Yeah, but only us. I mean, there were people trying to get up. Remember that had the bouncer at the
Yeah.
bottom of the stairs?
Wow.
Because it was a Friday night or a Saturday night. It was one or the other.
Busy night, yeah.
It was a busy night.
Took over.
That's right, it was you. You were the cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just looked at that recently because I'm going through the footage because they want me to put together this collage, you know, for the,
Yeah.
like the announcement, you know, before you come up, they play something about you, you know? And I'm looking through old tapes, and one of the tapes I came across was the tape of Catherine Tappan and I having dinner, and her talking about, she was a 3-sport athlete at Rutgers,
Rutgers, yeah.
I can't even say the word.
New Jersey, yeah.
Anyway, and then she called me about a month later and asked me, she said, can you do me a favor? Can you have my friend Dylan Dreyer on the show? And I did.
That's awesome. Look at her now.
Yes. Yeah, she's
She's
done.
great.
They both done well. But you know who's the best? Were you here when I had from Channel 12, my favorite guest of all time? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Who?
She's on channels. She's on Channel 12. She's on CBS in New York, Channel 2, the #1 station in the country, right? And she's the 6 and 11 o'clock broadcaster on the IGA,
Oh, wow.
on 6 and 12. She was on the show 3 times.
Nice.
And I predicted her success, did I not? I actually said to her, I can see you within the next 3 to 5 years filling in for Katie Couric on the Today Show.
Wow.
And a couple years later, she got picked up by NBC. She ended up in a late night MSNBC
Yeah,
show.
I think early today, was it?
Right, it was 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Then she calls me one day, she goes, you know, we won't believe this. I'm filling in for Katie Couric tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she ended up getting picked up by CBS.
That's awesome.
So she's done very well. So a lot of people have done all right coming on
Christine
the show.
Johnson, by the way. I don't know if we said the name, who that was.
Christine Johnson. Well, didn't I say that, Jay? No?
So you're a talent scout, huh? What do you think about
Where's
us?
she going to go? Well, I'm done. Where are you going?
No.
Yeah,
He's going out to pasture soon.
he's what?
Going out to pasture.
Really?
No,
Already?
He's not. No.
How old are you now? 30?
33.
You're 33 years old already? Holy
You
cow.
don't got to jump
That's
like
young.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding.
He must
But
fall out of
yes,
his chair.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a chair. 33 years old. All right, I got to get, what? I got to let them go now? Is that what you're trying to say? You got
Just
1
showing
minute
the
with me.
wand.
You spent a half an hour with Bob. That's what's happening here.
Wow. I didn't even get the full hour. Maybe next
Amanda,
time.
well, once we learn to know about you a little bit more, but
Okay.
I get to
I'll give you the
personally.
questions
You're
for
gonna,
her
you're
next
gonna have to,
time.
you're gonna have to do it now. That would be better. That would be better. Amanda Pitts of WPRI-TV, Channel 12 in Providence, Rhode Island, is here on An Hour with Bob, spending a half an hour with Corey Welch.
Feature.
Corey usually or always was behind camera. This is the first time I ever got you in front of the camera, is it? Is
Yeah.
it not?
On purpose, at least, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
It's a big day.
Would have wanted something other than a.
No, this is one of my biggest success right here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Add him to the reel for the
Yeah, I already have.
ceremony. Oh, good.
Him and his brother.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Learned a lot here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I'm glad you came, and probably because of him, right?
No, I asked. Everyone was like, yeah, Mike, Tony.
Who
They
said
love
no? I
ya.
want to know who said no.
No one said no.
Who said, like, oh, yeah?
No, not
No, they
yet.
did?
I'll let you know when that. if
Anyone
that-
roll their
they
eyes
do.
at least?
No,
No?
I'll never tell.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Hi, folks. We're back on An Hour with Bob with one of my favorite guests, all the way from the University of Rhode Island, Dennis Hilliard. Dennis, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Bob. How about yourself? You doing
Good,
well?
good.
Glad to hear it.
You're still at the forensic lab down there, the crime lab? What are you calling it?
Yeah, this is the Rhode Island State Crime Laboratory at the University of Rhode Island. Yep, CSI at URI.
Remember when I went down there?
You came down, and a lot's changed since you've been down there.
Is
so
it?
you might want to come back and take a look.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd love to come back. That was impressive.
Yeah, we've added
All
a
the
few more
things I
things.
learned about.
We took up, when you came down, we were like just 4 different areas of the campus, right? We
Right,
were like
yeah,
a couple
right.
buildings. Now we have one building, the whole lower level of Fogarty Hall is ours. And,
Is that still over in the Chafee building? Is
No, that's the new pharmacy on the north end of campus. We're still on the south end of
Oh,
campus.
you are, yeah.
And right near the police station, what used to be the police station, Memorial Union right there, and then the old chemistry building. So new buildings on the north end of campus. We stayed at the old building in Fogarty, and when pharmacy moved out, we got more space. So we expanded our numbers too. I think last time we did it, we had 5 people.
Right.
There are 12 people working
Wow.
for us now. So there's 12 people down there now. So
And you do a lot of stuff for a lot of places, don't you?
well,
Don't
we
you?
take
A lot
care of
a lot
the entire state of Rhode Island.
Right.
All the,
All
local,
the police
all the
departments.
local police departments, state police, state fire marshals. We even sometimes help out the FBI. We do work a lot with ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So we do work with federal agencies as well. Our main number of cases coming in now is firearms cases. Probably when you were down there, it was fingerprints. Now it's firearms. When I started, it was trace because the whole south side of the province was burning down, right?
Right.
And so, you know,
Tracing the
tracing-
arsons.
trying to say, you know, if we have gasoline in a
Right,
fire,
right.
all the south side of the province. So I was hired on a grant that was attacking arson cases at the time. And then you had an increase in drugs, then we had an increase in breaking and enterings, and now during the pandemic, we saw a great increase in the number of firearms being used out in the city and around. So,
Right, sadly, yeah.
yeah, sadly, you know, not a lot of homicides, but a lot of shootings going on.
Well, thankfully, they're not good shots.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a good thing. They're lucky I ain't shooting them because I would hit them.
Spraying bullets, yeah.
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 I mean, there was a shooting there, not far from me, near a milk store I go to, in the back. And the guy, I went out with him the next day and he showed me in the backyard, and it had a driveway in the back. And a couple of people were in the backyard in the driveway. And this guy came by in a car and he shot 32 shots in the back. He didn't hit anybody.
Didn't hit anybody. Yeah, 32 shots, but left all the cartridge cases behind, right?
Yes, yes. So that makes kind of easy
That's what we
for
see,
you.
yeah. Well,
Well-
the police take care of that. You know, we train them how to do crime scenes.
Right.
That's one of the things we do, and that's we expanded that. And in fact, if you come down, you'll see we built 5 permanent crime scenes in our laboratory now.
Oh, actual crime scenes?
Yeah, we have a living room, we have a kitchen, we have a office space, we have a bedroom, and we have a little liquor store as well set up. So we pose crime scenes, and our students, our police officers we train, go through and process them as crime scenes each
Oh,
semester.
cool. That's
So
cool.
they get a lot of hands-on experience. And then we dedicated some lab space for them so they can process the evidence as well. Because one of the things we want them to do is process for
Oh,
fingerprints.
they do their own?
We process for fingerprints as soon as possible, because that's evidence that can be dissipated after a while. And we also train them how to collect evidence and who to call if they need help, whether they need help from the state police or they need help from our laboratory or the state fire marshals, depending upon the situation. We put them in contact with these people so that they know who to call. You know, so like Ghostbusters will
Right, yeah,
who to
yeah,
call.
who to call.
So yeah, we try to train them in and then get the best evidence we can from them, because the sooner you collect the evidence and the more knowledge they have about what kind of evidence they're looking at,
Right.
the more likely we are to get evidence that may be able to connect us to a person or someone who may have committed
Well,
the
you see,
crime.
most crime dramas, they're looking for, when a guy gets shot, they take the bullet out and they look at the bullet.
Right.
And they send it to the crime lab.
Right, that's called firearms analysis, and that's
Right.
one of the things that we've been doing since I
A
was
lot
there.
of.
A lot of, and more often. And I actually brought some props here
Right.
for you to look
And
at.
if you don't get the actual bullet,
Right, we have
you
the-
just get the
The
casing.
cartridge case, right. So
Right.
this is a cartridge case where the bullet's expended, and you can see the markings on the
That's
back.
the marking on the
So you can
back
see
side
that
of the bullet.
the firing pin hits here, and
Right.
as the bullet goes out, the cartridge case comes back, hits a hard metal surface called the breech face, and you get these markings here. So you can see how different. So now, if we had this case come in from a test fire of a weapon, and then we had this one in our computer, when we
Yep.
put this one in the computer, they
Show
should
it on that camera.
the computer
They
should
match
say,
up, right?
the computer should say,
Oh, so I did hit it,
the
right?
computer, says you have a lead here.
Right.
And then that goes out to the department saying that these 2 cases are connected by a gun. And the gun was obtained, and now this is a previous shooting that connects these. And the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, has put together a computer program to store this image into the computer, so we don't have to remember that we had this.
And it's like a fingerprint every.
It's sort of like a fingerprint. As you can see, we have 3 different other types of firing pin impressions.
Right.
And you can see they're distinctly different. So the theory is that no 2 breech faces will be the same and create the same markings. Same
Now,
thing.
if you got from a shooting, excuse me, if you got from a shooting, you know, like I said, the kid sprayed 32 shots.
Right, right.
You picked up all the, or
they
picked
pick up all the
those cases.
cartridge cases, they
Now,
bring them down to the
those
lab.
casings would match this?
Well, first thing we want to do is see if they were all fired from the same weapon.
Right.
So we look at them all and triage them and see if they all have the same marking. So in this case, we have this one, and this one, and this one all came from the same weapon because they all have the same markings, right? So that's the first thing we'll do. Then we'll pick the best one and we'll put it into the computer database for the ATF database. And then we'll search against previous submissions.
Right.
Like a fingerprint. And this is a fingerprint of the gun, and occasionally we'll get what we call a lead. where we might connect the two. Now, the final determination as to whether or not those two cartridge cases came from the same gun is done by a person at a microscope. But the information that these two cases might be related is given to the departments right away, so they can use that lead
Right.
for
To
investigative
follow
purposes.
it through.
Investigative leads.
Right,
And then
right.
if we're going to court and we want to confirm it, then the examiner will look at it and say, yes, they were both fired from the same weapon. So that gun is attached not only to the case that the police got the gun from that person, but from a previous case.
Right.
Now, the problem is putting that gun in the same
Somebody's
shooter's hands.
hands. Somebody's hands.
So now, oftentimes when guns come in, we swab them for DNA.
Right.
So the DNA is stored. And
Guns
then
or guns and or the bullets? Or
most of the
casings?
guns, sometimes the bullets, depends on how they were handled, but mostly the gun, because we usually can't get fingerprints off the grips of guns because they're textured. So we'll swab those, and that's probably the most likely place where we'll find touch DNA. And if we save that, then we have the potential last person who handled that weapon.
Right.
Now, whether they were the shooter, this one as this one and this one, that comes back to investigative techniques and
Right,
interview
right.
techniques. So that's where the cops have to do some legwork.
And then we get into calibers, right?
Right, so if this is a mock-up of a bullet, as the bullet passes down the barrel of the rifle firearms, it picks up these markings on it. And so what the examiner is going to do if he has two bullets and they're trying to find out whether it's the same weapon, he'll put these under because a bullet is much smaller than this,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
You see a 9mm, it's about that big, right? These are much bigger mock-ups. So what they want to do is to try to see if they can rotate these around
And see if they
until they
match up.
have a consistent match. And here we have, looks like a match there, and a match here, and a match here. So these are all matched. Now the problem is sometimes the bullet found in the field is not in perfect condition.
Right.
So it could have hit something, it could change it. When we test fire a gun, we fire the gun into a tank of water. You've
Yeah,
seen
we did that.
Right, so we get the best possible known bullet.
Right.
And then we can match it up against the unknown. And even if we get just one or two markings enough, it's up to the examiner to decide whether or not the two bullets were come from the same weapon,
right.
and to testify to that, write a report and testify to that. So we can link a gun to multiple cases, depending on the type, depending on their examination and what they were looking at. So again, these are stored in the computer. These are not yet, because it's very difficult to image a round surface.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have to cut the slices up, and it doesn't always work. They are working on 3D technology
just gonna
now.
say that. That's
They
what
are
you-
working with 3D technology to enhance our ability to compare bullets under a microscope or visually. But that's something that the NIST people, National Institute of Standards and Technology, are working on down in the DC area. So there's lots of new stuff coming on.
Yeah.
You have DNA, you have genetic genealogy. You've heard about that, right?
Yes, yes.
We actually had a case.
I'm almost afraid of, my name's in there anyway. I mean, I already put in for
You did the
DNA.
Ancestry&Me type of thing?
No, the other one. I
Oh,
did,
the 24andMe?
no, the DNA, the ancestry.
Ancestry, okay. Is it Ancestry and then 24andMe? Yeah, if you put your name in the database, it's likely that if you're connected to a crime through a relative, they might be able to find your relative through your DNA because you have matching.
Right, right.
They'll go to your family tree and see who's the
So
most
all
likely
my
suspect.
family better not, none of them better get in trouble. All right?
But then you could also take your DNA out of that mix too.
Oh, you can?
There's a way now, privacy here, it says, do not add my DNA to that database. So it kind of restricts the use of that
Right.
genealogical database. But it still provides a lot of links, and I think we've had two cases around where they've done the genetic genealogy to link case. One was in Warwick and one was in Pawtucket.
That was the one in Pawtucket. Wasn't that a long time ago, right?
It was a while
Like
ago.
30
They
years ago?
arrested
Was
the
it that
guy.
long?
They arrested him and then they released him. But the guy in Pawtucket, they just went to court on that case.
Right.
He claimed insanity. They linked him through genealogy, and then he claimed insanity. I think he was still found guilty of the crime, where he put the person in the barrel in the Warwick Park.
Right, right.
So that case has been adjudicated now. But the one in Pawtucket, I don't think has been solved yet. They were still working on that.
Really? They never solved that little girl's.
Jerry and Richards, yeah,
I
know
didn't
that
know
case.
that,
Yeah,
right?
that's one of the first big cases.
You had to just come on then.
Oh
How
yeah,
long you been
yeah,
there?
right. I was 1980. I came
1980.
on, and that happened like 1982 or so.
Yeah.
We had an awful lot of evidence from that case.
That's near me. That's where I.
Yeah, I know, I
That's
know.
close to me.
One of our examiners actually went to the apartment to see if there was any signs of breaking and entering off the fire escape into the.
Right,
into
yep,
the-
yep.
And they found no signs of,
I
of
know.
forced entry. So that's
Yeah.
why the suspicion fell upon the family members,
Right,
the father.
the father.
And at that time, shaken baby syndrome was kind of there and may have been the cause. The problem with that case is they took a lot of black and white photography at the time. So we saw a stain on a rug. I don't think we ever got the rug, but it may have been blood stain. We don't know. They didn't take apart the sink to see if there was blood in the traps, if the baby had been killed in the bathroom or something like that.
Right.
So there was some loss of it, because they were looking at a kidnapping initially, you know.
Exactly.
That was a kidnapping.
They thought it was a drug-related kidnapping.
Right, exactly, and then it turned out to be a homicide, so. And they didn't know that for several days later when the body was found several days later.
Yeah, around the corner.
And the baby, the body was wrapped up carefully, so they
Right,
knew
right.
that someone cared for that child when they
Correct,
put it there.
correct.
So that's when the suspicion fell on the father, and then they had a hung jury in the trial they
Right.
went, and so it never went anywhere.
And then he moved. They moved to
They
Utah
both
or
moved
something,
around,
or
yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah,
or
exactly, exactly. And I think they split up as well. They didn't
Right.
stay together either, so.
And-
It's an answer that we'd have to get from one of them.
Right,
You know,
right.
Forensics isn't going to help us because, again, just like O.J. Simpson, we knew he was there. Everyone's there. It doesn't matter that we found evidence that they're
Right.
there. They were lived there, right? So it's very difficult sometimes to
Why?
find.
You think that OJ? He's still looking on the golf course, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He's still looking for this guy.
Still
Yeah,
looking for the murderer on the
unfortunately,
golf course.
Yeah, I think they should have swabbed the inside of the gloves for DNA, but he'd already put them on and all kinds of stuff. You know those gloves were in the freezer before he put them on, right?
No.
When you put leather in the freezer, what happens to it, Bob?
What, shrink?
Yeah, absolutely. Then put 2 pairs of
They
minor
set
gloves
him
on.
up. They,
Oh, yeah,
they set the
send
prosecution
him up
up.
and knock him down, yeah.
My God.
Yeah, that was a
Terrible.
amazing case. So we still point to that case all the times in terms of our movie for accreditation, becoming an accredited laboratory, which we did become accredited. It was 1995 that case occurred, and,
Right.
and that's when Los Angeles had to look for accreditation because the whole case was based on them being sloppy forensic work, right?
Right.
So they had to bring in outside, because if they messed up a big case like that, what else would they have messed up, right? So they bring in outside experts to go through all of their policies and procedures, and then just like we do at a university or a company, they accredited them on their policies and procedures. And whatever happens on the West Coast usually ticked its way over to the East Coast as well.
Of course.
So by 2007, we became an accredited laboratory as well. So we are accredited under ISO 17025. And we're actually going to go through our reaccreditation next week.
How often is that at? 5 years?
It's a 4-year term, but each year you get some kind of audit. So we'll have our big audit this year. We'll have 5 people in the lab
Yep.
going through what we do, and they'll hopefully will pass. And then next year we'll do a desk audit. We'll send them a bunch of paperwork, and they'll approve it. And then the second year in between, they'll send someone to the laboratory to look at stuff. And then the third year, again, a desk audit, and then the fourth year of reorganization. So every year we have to do something to make sure that we're following our
Right.
standard operating procedures.
Now, you run the lab, right?
I'm the director, yeah. So I oversee the laboratory and day-to-day operations. I report to the Dean of the College of Pharmacy, where the laboratory is located within the university structure. And then I also report to a commission that's set up by Rhode Island General Laws, which is the State's Attorney General is the chair of that commission. And then ex officio, the superintendent of the state police is on the commission.
Right.
And then 3 appointments by the governor. So the governor appoints someone from the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association, which is Chief Oates now from
Right.
Woonsocket.
Yep.
And then 2 other people, Linda Bashan Jackson, who was former Pawtucket police officer. She's on the commission. She's actually working at the airport police right now.
Right.
And then
A
Nancy.
lot of them go there. A lot of the Pawtucket cops end up down, and the Warwick cops end up down there.
And then Nancy Haley, who was a former supervisor of the forensic toxicology group at the health department, is a member. And she's been a member the longest right now, forever. So I report to them 4 times a year. So we have a meeting at either the AG's office in Cranston, or we have a meeting down at URI to go through what we do each year. And they're the ones that support our legislative actions, and the university supports our budget requests each year through the legislature.
Well, they must have expanded your budget because you expanded your place.
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
Up to 12 now.
I think we're at $1.3 million right now for going into FY24. When UConn came down, it was under $1 million at the time.
Right.
So one of the things we did in the last year is recruit a new firearms examiner because we saw such an increase in number of firearms cases coming to the laboratory.
Fire what?
Firearms analysis, this stuff.
Oh, firearms.
So
Okay.
we had to hire another person. So we have 3 full-time firearms examiners right now, and 2 other people who do NIBIN entries and sorting. So there's actually 5 people in our firearms section. There's 3 people in our fingerprint section, 2 in our trace, and 1 person who helps with the accreditation status and the budget work, and then myself. So 12 of us all together.
I see you got a piece of paper there. You want to do a fingerprint?
So one of the things we do for a lot of high school kids that come through, we show them how easy it is to get fingerprints off a piece of paper. So if you were to just maybe enhance your fingerprints by doing this,
That's putting oils on
put
you.
some oil and some sweat on
Put
there,
oil-
because
yeah.
remember, mostly fingerprints are mostly water. So if you just want to put your hand on this piece of paper, just put your hand on it. All right, don't move it, don't. Oh, you're smudging it.
I smudged it.
All right, we're
I'll
going to turn it over.
Flip it
We're
over.
going to turn it over now. We're going to flat down, up, no problem.
That's
All right.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's real simple.
And what is this? It's magnetic, right? This
These are
stuff?
magnetic powder,
You're
yeah.
still using that stuff.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, this is the first thing we would do if we have paper.
When I found out it was with you that I learned that how they get fingerprints off, remember in the glass case?
Yep.
When you get something that's not flat like this,
No,
right?
No.
That's what you put up there, right? You
Right.
hang that up there inside that glass case, right?
yeah, so we're gonna see how sweaty your palms are. Remember how you put the fingers on here? All right, we got some fingerprints here, you see that?
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's your thumb, there's your index finger, there's your pinky.
Only got two though.
A pinky, ring finger, middle finger,
Oh, get
index
three.
finger.
Yeah, I see three
and
now.
there's actually
On the
four,
thumb,
you see
yeah.
4.
Yeah. Oh, all right, yeah.
You gotta clean
Now
it
what
up.
is that stuff? I know it's
This
magnet.
is like toner and iron filings.
Look, it comes right back up.
You know, the toner, well, I don't know if you used to see the guy, the bearded guy, but you can see your fingerprints are right there. Let's see if you, let me just look to see if you actually have good fingerprints. You smudge, oh, your middle finger is excellent. You have a loop.
I've been told that.
But look, you see that you see that loop in there? If you look closer, you can see the loop. Now you smudged your index finger and your pinky got smudged.
Yep.
But your ring finger and your middle finger came in perfectly. So
Right.
if you were to leave those at a crime scene,
Yep.
and then we got your fingerprints by you having taken fingerprints at the police station.
Yep.
we
And I
get-
have. My fingerprints are in the police
Yeah,
station.
you already have
I-
them
yeah,
because for work or what have you,
right,
you have your
yeah.
fingerprints.
I
And those
should be a
come.
private investigator, so I got. I'm
Yeah,
serious.
So your fingerprints are in the database. Because we did, remember in Bristol and Warren, they were putting up the Nazi stickers on the
Yes,
businesses?
yes.
So the back of those stickers had a fingerprint on it, right? There were actually two different.
What a fool,
Because
huh?
they saw a video of 2 guys. So one fingerprint hit the database because he had been in the military. And
Right.
so his military fingerprint hit. Now the other guy didn't hit because he had not been in the military,
Right.
hadn't been arrested before. But once they got the first guy,
No.
he flips the other guy,
Sure.
and then we get his fingerprints, and it matches the back of the other fingerprint. So,
Right.
yeah, that's another database. We talked about the database for cartridge cases. We have a huge database for fingerprints, which the FBI controls.
Right.
And the main source of our database is with our Attorney General's office, and we have 2 APHIS workstations. APHIS stands for Automated Fingerprint Identification System, which accesses that database. So the first thing we'll search all the Rhode Island cases.
Right.
And then after that, there's no
Go
hit.
national.
We can go regional, and then we can go national.
Wow.
But usually most of the people who are in the database, it hits against someone local. You know, most of our criminals in Rhode Island are in southeastern Massachusetts
Right,
or Rhode Island.
right.
So we hit it locally. Once in a while, we'll get another hit off of something else, but very rarely. So yeah, that's one of the other things we provide for law enforcement is the fingerprint analysis. We train them to do process for fingerprints, because as we say, if we had not processed this and we let it go for a day, we probably wouldn't get fingerprints because the water would evaporate, right?
Right.
And this is mostly what it's testing for. But we also test for other things in fingerprints, which is amino acids from proteins, fatty oils, right? And salt. Those are the other 3 components of fingerprints that we can take advantage of by using different chemicals. And we,
On the fingerprints?
on the different materials. So paper we'd process using this way, but
Right.
you might have plastic bags, you may have a
Right.
firearm, you may have something other solid, like a baseball bat or tape. We would then process those using different processing.
What's the one you put it in the case?
That's the super glue fuming one.
Yes. Yeah.
So we use super glue to sodium acrylate to enhance fingerprints on solid objects such as firearms or knives or tape.
You would hang it inside the case,
Right,
and
we
you,
fume it.
you would put a.
We put a little drop of super glue on a metal container
Right.
that sits on a
Heated metal.
hot plate,
Hot
a
plate,
little
yeah.
hot plate, cup warmer. And then it vaporizes into the chamber, and after 30 minutes or so, they take it out and they look for fingerprints. We have the other chemicals.
And how'd they find that out? How did?
That was a
How did they find that out? Was it in New
So-
York? Wasn't it in New York?
The story is that a New York detective had been working on something. He had broken his coffee cup, and he
was trying to fix the
super
coffee
glued his
cup.
coffee cup. And at the time, he dropped a couple onto this cup warmer where he had his cup warmer, And about 20 minutes later, he sees a whitish image on the coffee cup itself. And when he looks at it using the magnifier, he finds out it's his fingerprint. So then he put 2 and 2 together and said that heating super glue will develop a fingerprint on a solid object, such as a ceramic cup. And so that was, serendipity, basically. It happened by circumstance. And, and then it turned into a whole institution. So now we have this huge chamber that costs us like $7,000, and then we put humidity in there. We have the cheapest part of it is the cup warmer. If we have to buy a new one, just go to Job Lot for $5 and you get a cup warmer. But yeah, and then there's other chemicals that have been developed to look at other things. So we used to use something called ninhydrin that develops with the proteins. We use iodine fuming for the fatty acids. And then there's one other thing.
Where do you use that? What do you mean?
We have a fume hood. So we'll actually have a fume hood where we can vaporize iodine crystals into the object. So like the fume hood for cyanoacrylate. And then we have something that detects the salts, silver nitrate. We'll detect the salts, and that will turn your fingerprints black. Turns your hands black. Then hydrogen turns your hands purple. Silver nitrate turns your hands black. So wear gloves when you're doing the processing. I just got to say that.
Wear the gloves. Wear gloves, yeah.
So we actually teach this to police officers to see what they can do. So we turn them into scientific detectives, basically. Because most police officers don't have a science background. They like the criminal justice, or they went for history, what have you. So we have to train them in the scientific technique and teach them how to process things so that when we get them, we can further process them if necessary, or we can use them as is and work faster that way. So preserve the evidence, package it properly, do what you can, and then if you need help, reach out and contact us. We'll provide somebody to help you.
You're still running your seminars on Fridays?
Absolutely. We have a seminar coming down with the state fire marshals this week. So Paul Manning and Mr. Gibbons are coming down to talk about fire investigations.
What about Timmy?
Timmy
McLaughlin?
No, I think Timmy's, I don't know where he is now. Where's Timmy?
Isn't he in the state fire marshal's office?
He may be, but he's not in investigations. I'm not sure where
no, he's the head. He's the head.
Okay. Okay, so he's the state fire marshal then.
Right.
Okay. But they're coming down to talk about that. I suspect they might talk about the Cranston fire we just had, the 2 fatalities last week.
No, I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that? Okay, so a residential house went up in Cranston in the Garden City area, and there's 2 fatalities. I don't know what happened. They haven't determined why that fire started, but I suspect it would be something like smoking and bender or something electrical. It didn't seem to be something that would be set fire, because then we'd get the evidence to look for something like ignitable liquids, the most common being gasoline.
Well, they must have checked for that anyway.
I'm sure, yeah, because the state fire marshal got called in and they do a full examination.
Check for, what do they call it?
They have the dog, and they ring the dog, and it sniffs.
Well, they check for accelerants. That's
accelerants, yeah. Well, we call them ignitable liquids now, see.
You call them what?
Ignitable liquids.
Ignitable liquids, not accelerants anymore.
Not accelerants.
You changed it on me.
Because this could be an accelerant, right? You got a bunch of paper, it could be accelerant, but undetectable, right? But ignitable liquids, gasoline.
Well, wait a minute. Why isn't it undetectable? If this thing burns, there's still got to be ashes.
Ashes, but we won't see it on our gas chromatograph, the instrument that we use to look for organic solid, because it's going to be burned up. It's going to be gone, right? So I just gave you a clue how to start a fire.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that as I said it. As you said it, I'm going, wait a minute, what is he saying?
Well, gasoline causes a lot of damage in a short period of time, and that's what most arsonists want to do. Because response time is what, 5 to 10 minutes.
Right,
usually,
so you're not going to burn a building down in 5 to 10 minutes.
Not with just paper. Right. If you salted the whole area with ignitable liquids and you start the fire, then it's going to be much tougher for them to put the fire out.
Right.
Easy to put this fire out, ignitable liquid fire, not so easy to put out. You start using that foam or what have you, but water is not going to help you to put out the ignitable liquid fire. It's going to just float on the top and still burn, right? And say, more water, more water.
So how often are you doing your seminars?
Every Friday.
You're still doing them every Friday? You're a workaholic.
I help to create the structure for it. So Dr. Oxley and I, you met Dr. Oxley last time, we create the structure. I give her a bunch of names, 10 or 15 names at the beginning of the semester. She then contacts them and said, do you want to give a seminar? And most of them already told me they would. Right. So then she puts together the schedule. And this semester, it's double because we have a course called Criminal Investigation that she puts on for the students. And that requires 2 lectures a week. So we do a lecture on Wednesday for that class, and then Friday for the class and the seminar. So like I said, this week is the fire marshal's office. In a couple weeks, we'll have someone coming in as an active shooter expert from a former FBI agent. You can go to the website and you can see it all. And if you can't come down, remember the seminars are free and open to the public.
Right, 3 o'clock, they're still starting at 3?
3:30 to 5 in WPRI, the brand new chemistry and forensic science building on campus on the north end. And it's open to the public. We had the issue with COVID. We couldn't have people in the audience for a while.
Right.
Then we had people come back with masks, and now there's no masking required. So if you want to wear a mask, then certainly you're free to wear a mask. But the seminars are free and open to the public, and then students also take it for credit. So they can take it for 1 credit, or they can take the criminal class for 3 credits. So we fill that up every semester since 1999. We're in our 24th year with that.
Wow.
Yeah, we're one of the longest running partnerships at the University of Rhode Island that President Carruthers started back in 1999. We were first authorized in April of 1999, and we started our seminars in September of 1999.
Wow.
So it's been a long time.
And actually, you've been there longer since 80 because you went to school there.
That's right. I came here in 1976 looking to get a degree in pharmacy, hoping to work with a toxicologist who unfortunately left the university just before I started. And my aim was to be going to medical school.
Right.
Take a couple of years, get my master's degree, prepare myself for medical school. And instead, I ended up working for a fellow named Dr. David DeFonte. He became my major professor. And I did a research study using testosterone and estrogen to see if we could sex a blood stain, which now we do by DNA. We don't worry about that. But testosterone and estrogen are the hormones. If you have more testosterone, more likely to be a male. More estrogen, more likely to be a female.
Yeah, yep.
So we looked at that, and it didn't work so much because some of our test subjects, even though they're female, had higher testosterone levels. So it's an unusual situation. But I got my degree through that. Dr. DeFonte then offered me a job.
Yep.
I got my degree in January 1980. He offered me a job in March of 1980. And basically, that's what I've been. I mean, there was a grant. I ended up getting released because the grant ran out. And I went to work at the health department,
Right.
which has the forensic drug chemistry, the forensic toxicology, and now the forensic biology DNA. And then I came back to URI in June of '84 and been here ever since.
Wow.
Named director in '92, acting director, and then director in '95. So I got quite a few years under my belt.
Yeah.
So I'm getting re-upped again this year because I'm a 5-year appointment. And so the commission has to decide whether or not they want to keep me.
Well, we'll see what
So
we
in
do
June
about
of,
that.
in June of this year, they have to decide whether they're going to give me another 5-year appointment or not. Or they're going to do a global search for a new director.
Oh, God, no, that would be sinful. That would be sinful.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I wish I could have had you for the whole
Oh,
hour.
yeah, well, that's the way it goes. You got to take care of your media people. too.
Yeah, you got to throw in the media
Yeah.
people too. But this is what a bullet looks. Well, this one ain't what
A
the
large
looks
bullet,
like. It's
very
a
large.
bullet.
A mock-up.
And this is a casing.
Right.
Right.
Of casing, exactly. And together they make a cartridge.
They make a cartridge.
Great.
Well,
Right.
thanks for stopping by. We're going to do this again. I'm going to come down the lab.
You got to come down.
I'm coming down.
Take
We'll
your camera with you.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do some shots and you can show
In
you how
fact, the kid that was here
Yeah, he
went
was
with me down
That's
there.
right. I don't know if you were carrying your own camera at the time.
Was I?
Yeah, it's been a while. Bob Hathaway was here. Yeah, it was quite a while. Bob
Wow.
left in 2010, so it had to be before that. Hey,
Been here a long
I'm
time.
sure it's on the YouTube channel somewhere, Bob.
It is. All my
I'm
shows
sure-
are on
and they're
YouTube.
all
All
out
my
there.
shows are.
Great job.
Well, we got to wrap it up. I guess we got to wrap it up.
Out of time.
Dennis Hilliard. Is it Hilliard?
Hilliard, yeah,
Is it
Hilliard.
Hilliard or Hilliard?
Hilliard.
Hilliard. Hilliard.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly, Bob.
I went to school too, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I went to Roger Williams, by the way. I graduated from Roger Williams before you did. So again, folks, Dennis, thank you for
Bob.
stopping
Thank you very
by.
much.
Thank you for stopping
Always
by.
a pleasure.
And thank you for watching. And now we're